everybody. It's Kimberly Olson here. Happy Wednesday evening. Hopefully you got the notification for the event that is starting now. I have a Facebook Live interview for you guys. And I have a new background. As you guys can see, we did some rearranging in the house, and as a result, I had to reposition my office. So there she is. Okay, let me see if I can bring you on. Oh, there you are. I think it's gonna work. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be the easiest. On our special guest, K'Leigh. It says we're adding you. Oh, girl, you're like the fastest to be added on for an interview ever. So congratulations.
I'm a little bit used to Facebook Live, and I'm super glad that you had to rearrange your house so that you have like a normal background and I have kind of a normal background. I was like afraid to be next to your glitz.
My glam, my shiny. Yes, I have different spots because I think that would just be weird. So I actually, now that I'm doing this, I'm like, oh, I got to change that. I got to move that, but that's okay. We won't get distracted by the background. So I didn't get too much of a chance to talk because I was so excited that you came on. So welcome to the interview. And for those of you that don't know, K'Leigh is going to introduce herself and tell her a little bit about herself, and we're going to talk about how to grow your business. But for those that are already on, go ahead and put 1 in the comments if you're watching this live. Put 2 if you're watching the replay. If you're new to myself, Kimberly Olson or K'Leigh, how do you say your last name, Searcy?
It's K'Leigh Searcy.
Searcy, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, K'Leigh.
So if you're new to K'Leigh, go ahead and put new in the comments. Okay. And then if you share this video, what I want you guys to do is I want you to share this with your teams, or if you know anybody who runs their business online. So if you are in network marketing and you have a team, or if you run a business online, maybe you have an Etsy shop. I just talked to this really cool lady yesterday that makes custom diapers. You know how you had to make the diaper cakes? She makes them. So there's lots of people out there that can use this information, but share this information because now that I've gotten her full story, you guys, I really want you guys to pay attention. And I want you to be thinking about your future and what's coming up for you around the corner, because she's sort of the, I don't want to say the end game because we're always growing, but for those that are new, she's going to kind of share with you what got her to where she was. It didn't happen overnight. She did start with it part-time like a lot of you guys do. But I want you to just really keep your mind open to what's possible. So, Kate, I'm going to turn it over to you. So why don't you start by telling them a little bit about yourself? I know you're also a mom. We actually met through church, which is kind of fun. But tell them a little bit about what you did before you got into your business and sort of how it came about for you.
Yeah, so hi everybody, this is super fun. I love seeing who's signing on here. So a lot of them are my friends and my team, which is so exciting. Hi everybody. Cool. And of course there's a ton of people that I don't know, which is super exciting too. So hi to you guys too. So I'm K'Leigh. I live in Austin. We go to the same church. I have 2 kids, Trip, who is a 5.5-year-old boy, and Sloan, who is my 2.5-year-old daughter. This is my 3rd time living in Austin, but this time, it's the 3rd time's the charm. We've been here 5 years and we plan on staying. My background is actually in nursing. I came to UT and did nursing school, and then I got my master's degree and became a pediatric nurse practitioner. And that's what I was doing before I was introduced to Usborne Books and More. I actually was working 3 12-hour shifts at a clinic near here, and it was amazing and awesome, and I love my job, and I love the people I work with. I love dealing with kids, but I didn't like missing my own kids those 3 days. So, hey, Tracy, you're a nurse too. Good. And so I actually was planning on staying home with my daughter for 1 year when she was born, which is the same thing I did with my son. Then I went back to work. And during that year, I was introduced to my company, which is Usborne Books and More, through a simple Facebook party. I was literally sitting on my couch right here where I am right now, and I was doing a party. And I was falling in love with the books while I was doing it. And I was like, this seems like simple and easy and fun. And I had tried direct sales a time before. It was a different product and a different system. And it was fun when it lasted, but it wasn't for me long term. And I really didn't even go into this thinking that it was going to be long-term for me either. And I shared with you earlier that I really kind of joined to get my kids a bunch of books. I wanted to get my family a bunch of free Christmas presents. And as I shared with you earlier, that because I was home, my husband was trying to put me on a budget, and he was going to take away my daily awesome. Starbucks addiction. You can have coffee at home, he says. And so I really just joined, like, to get a little bit of extra spending money, that money that was going to just like free up our budget. I wouldn't have to lie to him when I went to Starbucks. I could get some fun presents for people, and we could go on a date and not feel guilty. And that's kind of where I started at. But just a few months into it, I started building a team and growing my business. And I promoted what we call in Usborne, we call it team leader. Other direct sales probably have something similar, like the first level of promotion. And that's when I went from making like what I call like spending money, or my Starbucks money, to making like real money. And I sat down with my husband and I said, what do I have to do with this to make this work for us long term, that I don't go back to work? And we sat down and we came up with a number, and I hit it. I surpassed it that very next month, and I was like, check, I'm not going back to work. So that really, it really changed everything for me. And I have been so blessed to be in direct sales and with Usborne Books and More and on my team. And I love kind of the women marketing system that we have going here. Like, you're with a different product, and I love that we can rally around each other as women and as moms and wives and entrepreneurs, and like make something awesome for other people too.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. And I was saying, what reason why I love your husband's thing with the budget, I'm really big on Dave Ramsey.
Yes.
It's kind of we do beans and rice here, but I always say organic beans and rice, but we're very just in line with that. But it's hard, it's really hard. Yes. So, and I think the hardest part for me was cutting out all that stuff that I really enjoyed doing, like having a coffee and stuff like that. What is that? Oh,
he said, if you never buy no wedding ring.
Oh, that's funny. So what would you say to somebody who is starting out with network marketing, or maybe they're starting their own business? I've done both. I had my FitCam brand for a while, and then this last year I went into network marketing. And I think I went through this with both of them, where I didn't see where it was going to work for me long term, meaning I didn't see a way that I could make it become my full-time thing. I see it now, but even with this company, there was a couple months where I was doubting myself and I wasn't sure and I wanted to quit, and I'm so glad I didn't. And because of it, I've grown so much as a person. What would you say to that of yourself, I guess, 2 years ago, but to those people who they're not at the level you're at, they don't have the success you have, but maybe they're making a little bit of money, but they're thinking, is this it? Just a couple $100. What would you say to those newer people?
Yeah, so I kind of three things maybe. For one, I think that you need to start with a product that you really love. So whether that's, for me, children's books and seeing them with my children, or hair products for you, or jewelry, or makeup, or the little sticky nail things, or whatever it is. I think you need to do something that you love, because there's going to come a day where you're right, where you get into it and like, is this it? Is this what I was here for? You're going to come a day where something gets hard. You're going to have a bad day. Everybody has bad days. And when you get to that point, you want to look at this product and say, this is worth it. I love this. This is why I'm here. I support my company's mission. My company supports me, whatever that case is. And so I think it starts with finding the right product that's for you, and that's individual. And there's a ton of products out there. And I happen to have one that I love and I'm passionate about. I get to use every day here with my own kids in my own home, etc. So I think that's one thing to start with. Second, I think that probably most of us in direct sales and multi-level marketing are going to be put into like a team, like a Facebook page or text message thread, or like you're going to meet at somebody's home or whatever that is. When you get there, I think you need to dig in. So the people that I see that kind of join this is like, oh, maybe I'll try this kind of thing. And then they wonder why it doesn't work. It's because they're not giving it their all. So when you get there and people offer you training and support and advice and encouragement, take it and run with it. So we don't do those trainings and stuff for ourselves. We do them for our team, and it works better when you like dig in there and plug in deep. Third, I would say when you get there and you get into those groups, find some friends in there. And these could be people from like all over the place. Because of Facebook and the way that Facebook works, you can have a team all over the place. Like I have people in Alaska and California and Florida and Maryland. Like I talked to a girl last night in Maryland, and here I am in Texas, and like that's so cool. Again, with Usborne, we call ourselves Uzzies, like kind of a slang thing. And so we tell people to find an Uzzy buddy. And so like different sales are going to have something different than that. But I would say like once you get there and you plug into your team and you are working, find those people, those friends, those buddies to lean on. I went to our convention 2016, and I heard from a direct selling speaker there named Belinda Ellsworth, and she said something then that stuck with me even this much later. And she said, people join for the products and they stay for the people. So when things get hard, if you're plugged in and connected to your people, then that's going to make it easier to overcome that hump and go push forward.
Nice. I love it. You're so awesome. That's so wonderful. So was there a shift for you as far as two things I want to ask you? Was there a shift for you in your business? Was it maybe when you quit, you were able to go full time with it? Or was there some kind of personal growth, or even for me, a lot of it's faith-based, where, you know, I've always believed in God and all of that, and everybody has their beliefs and I respect that. But as far as believing in myself, that's what's been different for me with this company. It's allowed, and you guys that have followed me have seen me just sort of, I don't want to say blossom, but in a way, but it's having faith in what's possible, but it's having faith in myself. And that's really helped me. Is there anything similar that's kind of where you felt a shift for yourself that has helped you really take it to the next level?
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that it was that jump from, like I said, everybody's going to call it something different in their business, but we have consultants, and then when I promoted to team leader, so that's that shift there. And so that was a big thing for me, because I took something that was like small, and you know, I was just doing it like a side thing and just for fun and just for books for my own house. Yeah, hobby. And then when I promoted a team leader, and my husband and I talked about those numbers and what would work with our budget, and he says, I can stay home with this, and I can put my kids in preschool instead of daycare. Like that was a big thing for me. And that's when I started growing my team. A lot of these girls are on here and they're commenting tonight. And I think that that's like where the shift happened for me, is promoting there. And then just a few months after that, I promoted to director within my company. Again, they're all going to be called something different. That was a big thing for me too. And I started like leading my own team, and we have our own Facebook page. And so all of those things were big things for me. I'm big into personal development as well. With my daily morning routine, I do like a small Bible study. I focus on my vision boards. I know you've done some training on that recently, which I loved. And then I've also I've tried to do like a little bit of personal development, like read a chapter of a book or whatever it is. And so that's what kind of gets me kind of going and growing. And there's not an end point here. Like you said earlier, like, you know, I've reached the height of my business. No, not at all. I'm still growing my team. I'm still loving what I'm doing. I still have a lot more room to grow and things to get on my vision board there.
Yes, we all do. I don't think it'll ever stop. It'll just change, you know, get bigger. So, and FYI, I can't see the comments. They're showing on your screen. So if anyone says anything you want to address, if you guys are just hopping on, especially a lot of you haven't seen my lives before, go ahead and put one in the comments if you're watching this live. We'd love to shout you out. And put two if you're watching the replay. Put new if you've never seen either one of us before. And share this video. Put shared in the comments when you share it, and we'll shout you out for that too. And we really appreciate it because it's nice just to hear from people who've done it. And like she said, digging in, part of it is staying engaged on Facebook and watching interviews like this, watching trainings, just really staying connected. And that's really what was my saving grace when I had those ups and downs. So that was great advice. I love that. I have a question for you. And I've noticed this, I have a private group I run, and it's for basically people who want to grow online. And I've noticed a theme with procrastination, and I've noticed this, I'm pretty driven and productive. You can probably tell I've always been like a type A, achievement oriented, but I do have that's something that I have to really tackle. But I think creative people and entrepreneurs tend to be that way. What would you say to those that are home, they're stay-at-home moms, or they do decide to do this full time? How do you overcome, one, procrastination, but two, how do you make it where there's still structure in your day? Because technically you're never on or off. You know what I mean? You kind of decide. Do you have like set hours? Like, how do you tackle procrastination and things like that?
Well, I love that you asked this question. And I'm wondering if you read the book, and you can see the hearts and stuff going on because they know what I'm about to say. With Rory Vaden, how you read him. He's got a book called Procrastinate on Purpose. And also,
no, just eat that frog. I've read that one, but I want to read that one. Will somebody put it in the comments for me?
There you go. Gina's on it, I'm sure.
Thank you, Gina.
Procrastinate on Purpose, or he also has another one called Take the Stairs, and that's about doing the hard things when it's hard. It's not about doing the easy things because they're easy or fun. It's about doing the hard things that are going to really grow your business. And so both of those, she put in here his podcast there. So both of those have been huge for me and huge for my business. I think huge for my team because I'm like passing along what I'm learning there. So I try to do like time blocking. So I'm actually home with my kids. They go to preschool part-time, but a lot of the times I'm home. So those hours and stuff that I'm home, then I'm hanging out with my kids and we're going to the park and we're doing what we're doing here at home. And then when they take a nap or they're resting, or like right now it's 8 o'clock and they're in bed, then I am working. And when I sit down to work, then I mean to work. And so I have like things that I try to check off each day. I have certain things I do on certain days for certain minutes of the day. And she says she makes it look easy. So it is not easy. It is continually working. And as Rory Vaden says, like taking the stairs, like doing the hard things because those are what matter. So if it feels easy and comfortable, it's too easy and too comfortable and you're not growing. So yeah, that was funny that you asked me that. And then all these things, all my team was like, she's about to say it. We love Rory.
They know what you're going to say.
Yeah. That's so true.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like that personal development and reading those books so that those things become like second nature to you. You're like, hey, where did I get that idea? I don't even know. I just was listening to something online and then it makes sense. So yes.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's good. So how do you go about more like working with your team and setting goals and things like that? Do you plan out the year? Do you plan out monthly? Do you kind of see where the month ended? Like, how do you go? And they're laughing because they probably know, but how do you go about doing that?
I would love to say that I have my year planned out, but I don't. I'm like, I am a planner. I'm an organized person by nature, but I do not have my year planned out at all. I'm trying to do like 3 months at a time. So in December, I kind of planned January, February, March. Now our home office. Oh look, Catherine Warner says I'm a gold digger. That's your tagline.
Hey.
That's so funny. So our home office, so I have January, February, March planned out for my team, like in my head. Our home office just came out with a bunch of like amazing incentives and stuff that are going to start in February. And they didn't really line up with what I thought I was going to be training on and goal setting for with my team. So now then I'm kind of flipping it. And I think part of it is planning and being organized and prepared, but I think part of it is also having a little bit of flexibility and going with those things. Like I want to go with those awesome incentives that they're providing for us. And I don't want to like just get stuck in a rut because this is the plan that I have and it has to happen. So not that by any means. And I'm just going to slide my other plans back, a few months so that I can still use the same ideas.
Okay. So, and that's good because you do have to be fluid, and things change. And so as far as sharing the opportunity, what's your favorite way to share? Because obviously you've built a really big team. You have your girls love you, or boys too, I'm sure. But what's, because I think people think of, building a business online or even sharing with people that they know, they're kind of shy about it. And I think sometimes they're sharing a lot more than they are. So they might be helping their team, or they're watching a training, or they're making a cute binder. Like there was this girl that messaged me. I don't know her, but she messaged me saying she was going to start working on her business when her upline sent her binder. So I was like, no, you got to kind of just get in there. But what's your favorite way to share or build your team in a very real, authentic way? Because obviously everybody can see it. You're super genuine. Anybody would love to work with you. What's been your thing that you've really enjoyed with it, or what advice would you give to people who are trying to build online?
Yeah, I mean, so building online is tough because you've got this like unknown barrier. When you're in person with somebody, I think there's two parts to this question. So like, are you friends like in real life and you're sitting there in person? I think that's one thing. When I have something like that, I kind of continually talk to people like, hey, let's have coffee, or like, hey, come over and have a play date, or whatever it is, and kind of naturally kind of grow that relationship. And I will tell people like, hey, this is something that could work for you. And I'm not trying to recruit everybody. I don't think it's for everybody. I'm trying to find people that this is the right fit for them. That my product is the right product, that my team is the right team, and so on. So there's that piece, with friends that's a little bit different than just growing teams online. Usborne has a host party plan system. And so that is a lot of the ways that I also get people that I don't know. And so that's a little bit different than your product is. So I meet a lot of people that I would have never met before through Facebook parties. And so they could be, from all over the place too. And so that's a little bit different too. Sometimes people can feel like you're just going through Messenger and you're not really connecting with people. So I try to become friends with them on Facebook and find out about their kids, try to connect with them that way. And like I said, it's not about recruiting all the people for me. It's about recruiting right people that also love the product, also love our company's mission, that fit in with my team, and that it's a right fit for like, if that makes any sense. Did I answer that question?
Yeah.
It's not about just growing online and on Facebook and putting yourself out there. It's about connecting with people one-on-one individually.
That's so neat too, because when I met you through mutual friends and you weren't like, here's my company, or I didn't see it all over your page. I had to actually get to know you, which I wanted to. I was like, oh, how cool. Like she's a mompreneur, and we have mutual friends in our church, and I wanted to get to know you. So I got to know you and then found out that that's what you were doing. So I think that's nice because it wasn't like that was the reason for our connection. I felt like it was just, and I think that's so cool. Like just that virtually, you can meet people. I think that's awesome. So to wrap it up, what, any, tips or tricks or words of wisdom, and just because it sounds like you're a big self-study and you learn a lot and you have leaders that you follow, is there anybody that you recommend that people follow to get to know, any books, or is there just any advice that you'd like to share in closing?
So I mean, if you are like a big, reading that, trying to build up like personal development stuff. So Rory Vaden is coming to our convention this summer in June, and that's why we're all so excited about him. So I've listened to his podcast. I've read his books. I'm actually in coaching with him with his company too. And so I think that as far as an author goes. But I think just learning more and seeing more and trying new things is a big thing too. And so I think a lot of people have a lot of things to offer. And you kind of have to sort the good with the bad, of course. But I think that there's a lot to be said about picking up one of those like silly self-help books or whatever you want to call it, and seeing what they have to say, because they got there for a reason too. And then sort of figuring out how that works into your life and with your own set of beliefs, taking like something that's written by a man and his, like regular, like, marketing business to putting in place what we do as women online. You call them a mompreneur. I love that. And so some of it you have to tweak a little bit, but I think that all of those things have something to offer to you. So, I mean, I'm sure that you could start like a thread of those books and people would be like constantly adding to them. So he's like one that I'm recently obsessed with.
Nice. I love it. It's helpful to have people to follow and really they become your mentors, and in this day and age, it's so nice because we have access to so much. So that's awesome. So I will be looking him up for sure. So why don't you tell people where they can find you? I'd love for people to get connected to you, maybe host a party. How can they get in touch with you? Because a lot of the people that watch my videos have kids or they know people that have kids. How can people find you?
Well, awesome. I mean, I love that. We have the best children's books around. Just shamelessly plugging there. So, I mean, obviously anybody can connect with me on Facebook. You see my name here, K'Leigh Brummett Searcy. And then I have a Facebook VIP group that you can go to. I can put it down in the comments below. It's ksearcybooks.com, and that will redirect you to my Facebook VIP group. And so, like I said, if I think trying something new is always exciting and scary and makes you nervous all at the same time. And I think that that's awesome. I love that you're doing this to just like speak to a broad section of people about more than one thing. I think is a really neat thing for you too.
Awesome. Thanks. Well, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. And get your crew on here. It's nice for us to, meet each other's people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
All right.
She's going to sign off. So yeah, have a great night. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. I wanted to give you guys a couple updates, and I'm so glad I got to meet some of her people, so I'll see the comments later. But my recruiting and prospecting and recruiting workshop is closed, so if you want me to connect with you after I'm done with it and have the replay available to get a ticket for, go ahead and put prospecting and recruiting workshop in the comments, and I'll make a note to reach back with you later on when that's done. So I'm excited for all the people that registered. We have a really good group of people, and the content is going to be awesome. And then this weekend, stay tuned. I'm going to do a Facebook Live party. I'm going to be raffling off some gifts, such as this, because it's my birthday on Sunday, and I'm going to be hitting 38 like a rock star. So make sure you guys stay tuned on my page. I will let you guys know when I'm going to squeeze that in, because we've got a lot of stuff going on. Addison has her first little dance recital on Saturday, or no, her rehearsal, where they like put the little outfit on. I'm so excited. I never thought I would be that mom, but I am. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. So that's this weekend. And then we have our little date night on Saturday. I'm so excited. But anyway, so I will either do a party Saturday or Sunday. I'll let you guys know, but I'm going to raffle off some stuff because I just appreciate you guys so much, and I think it would be fun. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. You're awesome. Glad you got to meet her, and I'll see you this weekend. Bye.